I was 17 when I first understood what people meant by butterflies. Not the kind you see in gardens. The kind that live in your stomach and make you feel dizzy. His name was Alex. He sat 3 seats ahead of me in chemistry class. He had dark hair that always looked perfectly messy. When he smiled, I forgot how to think straight. I thought I knew what love was before Alex. I thought it was what I saw in movies. Perfect people saying perfect things. Dancing in the rain. Happy endings that made everything make sense. I was wrong about everything. Love, I learned, is messier than movies. It hurts more than I expected. It teaches you things about yourself that you never wanted to know. But it also shows you beauty in places you never thought to look. This is the story of my first love. The real story. Not the version I told my friends. Not the version I wrote in my diary at night. The version with all the ugly parts and beautiful parts mixed together. The version that changed me forever. Alex didn't notice me at first. Why would he? I was the girl who sat in the back corner. I wore oversized hoodies to hide in. I carried my books like a shield against my chest. He was everything I wasn't. Confident. Popular. He answered questions without raising his hand first. He made everyone laugh without even trying. When he walked down the hallway, conversations stopped and started again in his wake. I spent weeks watching him, learning his patterns. I knew he bought chocolate milk every day at lunch. I knew he drummed his fingers on his desk when he was bored. I knew he had a small scar above his left eyebrow that made him look like a character from an adventure story. I told myself this wasn't stalking. I told myself I was just observing. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was terrified. Terrified he would never see me. Terrified he would see me and not care. My best friend Sarah got tired of listening to me ramble about him. Just go talk to him, she said one day while we ate lunch in the library. What's the worst that could happen? I could think of a million worse things. He could laugh at me. He could ignore me. He could tell his friends and they could all make jokes. He could look at me with that polite confusion people get when strangers talk to them. I can't, I said. I don't know. He's too much. Sarah sighed. You're being ridiculous. He's just a guy. But that was the problem. Alex wasn't just a guy to me. He was perfect. And perfect people don't waste time on invisible ones like me. Days turned into weeks. I kept watching. I kept hoping. I kept doing absolutely nothing. Then one Tuesday in October, everything changed. My chemistry notebook fell during class. Papers scattered everywhere. I scrambled to pick them up, my face burning with embarrassment. Then I saw a hand reach down to help me. Alex's hand. Here, he said, gathering my scattered notes. I think these are yours. I looked up at him. Up close, his eyes were green with little gold flecks. He was even more beautiful than I had imagined. Thank you, I whispered. My voice came out like air. No problem, he said. He handed me my papers and smiled. I'm Alex, by the way. I know, I said. Then I realized how that sounded. I mean, I'm Emma. Nice to meet you, Emma, he said. Officially. That smile stayed with me for days. I replayed it over and over. The way his voice sounded saying my name. The way he said officially, like we had been unofficially meeting for months. Maybe we had been. The next week, I forgot my calculator. I was panicking quietly when Alex leaned back in his chair. Need this? He asked, holding out his spare calculator. I stared at him. You carry 2 calculators? He grinned. I'm prepared for anything. Scout's honor. Were you actually a scout? I asked. For about 3 weeks, he said. Until I got kicked out for arguing with the troop leader about whether hot dogs counted as camping food. I laughed. I actually laughed. Out loud. In chemistry class. That's better, Alex said. You have a nice laugh. You should use it more. My heart did something complicated in my chest. Alex thought I had a nice laugh. Alex wanted me to laugh more. We started talking after that. Little conversations before class. About homework. About teachers. About whether hot dogs really counted as camping food. Normal things. But when Alex said them, they felt electric. I learned that he worried about college applications just like me. He got nervous before presentations. He didn't understand why anyone liked the cafeteria pizza. He was still perfect to me, but he was also real. One day in November, he asked if I wanted to study together for the chemistry midterm. I'm struggling with the molecular bonding stuff, he said. You always seem to get it on the first try. I almost said no. What if I said something stupid? What if he realized I wasn't as smart as he thought? What if spending time with me made him see all my flaws? But I also couldn't say no to Alex. Not when he was looking at me like I might actually be able to help him. Okay, I said. We could meet at the library. Perfect, he said. Saturday at 2? I nodded. I would have agreed to Saturday at 2 in the morning if he had asked. That night I called Sarah in a panic. What am I supposed to wear? What if we run out of things to talk about? What if he changes his mind? Emma, Sarah said, breathe. It's just studying. But it wasn't just studying to me. It was the first time Alex had chosen to spend time with me. Just me. Not in a classroom with 30 other people. Just us. It felt like the most important Saturday of my life. Saturday came like a freight train. I changed clothes 4 times. I got to the library 30 minutes early. I found a table by the windows and arranged my books like I was setting a stage. Alex arrived exactly on time. He wore a blue sweater that made his eyes look like ocean water. He carried his backpack and a coffee cup with steam rising from the lid. Sorry, he said, sliding into the chair across from me. I needed caffeine to make my brain work. It's okay, I said. I just got here. We spread our chemistry books across the table. We opened our notebooks. We started working through molecular bonding. At first, it really was just studying. But then Alex moved his chair closer to see my diagrams. I could smell his cologne. Something clean and warm. My hands started trembling. You okay? He asked. You seem nervous. I'm fine, I said. Just caffeinated. He laughed. I didn't see you drink any coffee. Internal caffeine, I said. Very advanced. He laughed again. I was making Alex laugh. Me. The invisible girl from the back corner. An hour later, Alex closed his book. I think I actually understand this now, he said. You're a really good teacher. You're a really good student, I said. Can I tell you something? He asked suddenly. My heart stopped. Sure. I've wanted to talk to you for months, he said. But you always looked like you wanted to be left alone. I stared at him. You wanted to talk to me? Yeah, he said. You're different from everyone else. In a good way. You think before you speak. You notice things. Like when Mr. Peterson wore 2 different colored socks last week. Everyone else was too busy talking to see it, but you saw it. I had seen it. I noticed everything. I just never thought anyone noticed me noticing. Emma, Alex said. His voice was softer now. More serious. Do you maybe want to get coffee sometime? Real coffee. Not studying coffee. The world tilted sideways. Alex was asking me out. Alex, who could have asked out anyone in our school, who probably had girls hoping he would notice them. Yes, I said. The word came out too fast, too eager. I mean, that would be nice. Alex smiled. But this smile was different from his usual ones. This one was just for me. Great, he said. How about tomorrow? Tomorrow's Sunday, I said. I know, he said. Is Sunday okay? Sunday was more than okay. Sunday was perfect. We were packing up our books when Alex got a phone call. His face changed as he answered it, happy to serious in seconds. What? He said into the phone. When? Are you sure? Okay. Okay, I'll be there. He hung up and looked at me. His eyes were different now. Worried. Everything okay? I asked. My dad got a job offer, he said. In California. My mom says we need to talk about it tonight. California. That was 3,000 miles away. Is it a good job? I asked. Really good, he said. The kind he's been hoping for since I was little. I knew what that meant before he said it. I could see it in his face, in the way his shoulders slumped, in the way he wouldn't quite meet my eyes. Emma, he said, if we move, it would be soon. Like, really soon. The coffee shop we had planned to visit tomorrow suddenly felt very far away. How soon? I asked. Before Christmas, he said. Maybe sooner. 6 weeks. Maybe less. We had just found each other and now we were going to lose each other. So what does this mean? I asked. For tomorrow? For us. Alex looked at me for a long moment. I don't know, he said. I've never done this before. Neither had I. I had no idea what you were supposed to do when you finally got what you wanted and learned you couldn't keep it. Maybe we should still get that coffee, I said. Even if, Alex agreed. The next 6 weeks were the brightest and darkest of my life. Alex and I became inseparable. We got coffee that Sunday and talked for 4 hours. We went to movies. We studied together every afternoon. We texted until our parents made us put our phones away. I learned everything about him. He was terrified of moths but loved spiders. He put pineapple on pizza and didn't care who judged him. He wanted to study engineering because he liked building things that helped people. He learned everything about me too. That I wrote poetry in the margins of my notebooks. That I was scared of deep water but loved the rain. That I dreamed of traveling to places I had only seen in books. We talked about the move constantly. Alex applied to stay with his aunt for senior year. He researched boarding schools. He even offered to get a job and pay for his own apartment. Nothing worked. His parents wouldn't budge. The job was too important. The timing was too perfect. They were moving whether he liked it or not. It's not fair, Alex said one afternoon. We were sitting in his car in the school parking lot. Snow was starting to fall on the windshield. Why did I have to meet you now? Why couldn't we have met sooner? I didn't have an answer. Life doesn't care about timing. Beautiful things happen at terrible times. Terrible things happen at beautiful times. Fear doesn't enter into it. December arrived like a countdown. Alex and I talked about long distance, phone calls and video chats and summer visits. We made promises we weren't sure we could keep. I'll wait for you, Alex said. I'll wait for you too, I said. We meant it when we said it. But meaning something and making it happen are different things. The last day of school before winter break, Alex gave me a small wrapped box. He told me not to open it until after he left. I carried it in my pocket like a secret for days. December 23rd was his last day. I couldn't go to the airport. I couldn't watch him disappear into a crowd of strangers. Instead, I sat in my room and stared at his gift. A small silver bracelet with a charm shaped like a paper airplane. The note inside said, "For all the places you'll go. For all the dreams that will take flight. Thank you for teaching me that quiet people have the loudest hearts." I cried reading that note. I cried because he was gone. I cried because I missed him already. But I also cried because I realized something important. Alex had seen me. Really seen me. Not the invisible girl I thought I was, but the person I actually was underneath all my hiding. We texted every day for the first month. We called twice a week. We sent pictures and videos and voice messages. But slowly, gradually, life pulled us in different directions. By spring, we were just memories to each other. Good memories. Beautiful memories. But memories. I won't pretend it didn't hurt. It hurt like losing a piece of myself. Some nights I lay awake wondering what would have happened if his dad had said no to the job. If his family had stayed. If we had more time. But I also learned something that changed everything. Love doesn't have to last forever to matter. Alex was in my life for 6 weeks. 6 weeks out of all the weeks I will ever live. But those 6 weeks taught me more about myself than the 17 years before them. I learned that I was funnier than I thought, braver than I knew, worth loving. I learned that perfect doesn't exist. Not in people, not in relationships, not in life, but real does exist. And real is so much better than perfect. I learned that some things are worth the pain they cause. The joy of loving Alex was worth the sadness of losing him. The risk of opening my heart was worth the beauty of what I found there. Alex taught me that love isn't about keeping someone. It's about celebrating them. You don't love someone to possess them. You love them to honor them, to grow because of them. I'm 23 now. I've loved other people since Alex. Good people. Real people. Some of those relationships lasted longer. Some of them were deeper. Some of them were easier. But none of them were my first. And first love is different from every other kind of love. It's the love that teaches you what love is. It's the love that shows you what your heart can do. It's the love that proves you're capable of feeling something bigger than yourself. Sometimes I wonder about Alex. Where he is. What he's studying. If he remembers me. If he thinks about that Saturday in the library. If he kept my letters like I kept his bracelet. I hope he's happy. I hope he found someone who makes him laugh like he used to laugh. I hope he's building things that help people like he dreamed of doing. I hope he knows that he changed a scared, quiet girl into someone who believes in herself. Because that's what first love does. It doesn't just break your heart. It builds your heart. It shows you what you're made of. It teaches you that you can survive anything, even losing something precious. Alex is engaged now. I saw the announcement on social media last year. He looked happy. Older. The same kind boy I fell in love with in chemistry class. Just grown up. I felt happy seeing that post. Not jealous. Not sad. Just happy that he found his person. The person he was supposed to find after me. Because I understand now what I couldn't understand at 17. Alex wasn't meant to be my forever. He was meant to be my beginning. The person who taught me how to love. How to be loved. How to lose love and survive it. He was meant to show me that my heart was bigger than I knew. Stronger than I feared. More capable than I imagined. The most unexpected lesson from loving Alex wasn't about him at all. It was about me. About who I was when someone was really looking. About who I could become when someone believed in me. Before Alex, I lived my life like I was apologizing for taking up space. I made myself small. I spoke in whispers. I hid behind my hair and my books and my silence. I thought being invisible was safer than being seen. I thought if no one noticed me, no one could hurt me. Alex taught me that invisible and safe aren't the same thing. Being invisible meant missing out on everything good along with everything bad. It meant living life as a spectator instead of a participant. It meant choosing emptiness to avoid pain. I remember the exact moment I knew I was changing. It was 4 weeks into our relationship. We were walking to his car after school. Alex was telling me about his little sister's soccer game, how she had scored the winning goal and done a victory dance that made everyone in the stands laugh. He was animated as he told the story, his hands moving as he talked, his face bright with pride for his sister. And suddenly I realized I wasn't thinking about how I looked while he talked. I wasn't worried about what to say next. I wasn't planning my facial expressions or monitoring my posture. I was just there. Just listening. Just enjoying the way his voice got excited when he talked about people he loved. That was revolutionary for me. Before Alex, I was always performing. Always trying to be whatever I thought people wanted me to be. Always exhausted from the effort of being someone else. But with him, I forgot to pretend. I forgot to hide. I just existed as myself. And somehow that was enough. It was scary and wonderful at the same time. Scary because I was letting someone see the real me. All my awkwardness and overthinking and weird observations about the world. Wonderful because Alex seemed to like what he saw. He laughed at my jokes. He asked for my opinions. He listened when I talked like what I said actually mattered. Alex challenged me in ways I had never been challenged before. He asked me what I wanted to do after high school, what made me happy, what I was passionate about, why I hid so much of myself away. At first, I didn't have answers. I had spent so much energy trying to disappear that I had forgotten who I was underneath all that hiding. But Alex was patient. He waited while I figured it out. He listened when I finally started talking. I told him about my poetry, the notebooks full of words I had never shared with anyone. I had always thought my poems were silly, too emotional, too much. But Alex asked to read them. He sat in my bedroom and read every single one. When he finished, he looked at me like I had created something magical. "These are incredible," he said. "Why aren't you in creative writing class?" "Because I'm scared," I said. It was the first time I had admitted that out loud. "Of what?" he asked. "Of people thinking they're stupid. Of being judged. Of not being good enough." Alex was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "What if they think they're amazing? What if people love them? What if you're better than you think you are?" I had never considered those possibilities. I had spent so much time imagining the worst that I had forgotten to imagine the best. Alex didn't just love me. He believed in me. And slowly, carefully, I started to believe in myself too. He encouraged me to submit a poem to the school literary magazine. The old me would have laughed at the suggestion. The old me would have hidden behind a dozen excuses. But the me that Alex saw, the me that Alex loved, was braver than that. I submitted Quiet Thunderstorms, a poem about feeling everything too deeply in a world that wanted you to feel nothing at all. I never expected it to be chosen. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could try. 3 weeks later, my poem was published on the front page of the literary magazine. My name was printed right there for everyone to see. My words. My thoughts. My heart on paper for the whole school to read. Alex was so proud he bought 5 copies of the magazine. He showed everyone. His friends. His teammates. His little sister. He acted like I had won a Nobel Prize instead of just getting published in a high school magazine. "See," he said. "I told you they were incredible." But the poems weren't the only thing that was incredible. The person I was becoming was incredible too. The person Alex helped me discover. The person who had been waiting inside me all along for someone to believe she was worth knowing. That's what love does, I learned. Real love doesn't try to change you into someone else. It helps you become more yourself. It shows you the parts of yourself you had forgotten existed. It gives you permission to take up space, to have opinions, to matter. Alex loved my terrible jokes, my habit of making up songs about random objects, my collection of interesting rocks I found on walks. He loved the parts of me that I thought made me weird. He made me realize that weird isn't the opposite of lovable. Sometimes weird is exactly what makes someone worth loving. When Alex told me about the move, I thought the lesson was about loss, about how cruel timing could be, about how good things always end before you're ready. And those were lessons too. Hard ones, necessary ones. But the biggest lesson was about transformation, about recognizing who you become because of love, even when you lose the love itself. Alex was a catalyst. 6 weeks of learning what it felt like to be seen and valued and cherished. 6 weeks of discovering that I was capable of love and worthy of receiving it. I spent so much time grieving what I was losing that I almost missed celebrating what I had gained. A new version of myself. A confident version. A version that could write poetry and share it with the world. A version that could look in the mirror and see someone worth knowing. That version of me didn't disappear when Alex moved to California. She stayed. She grew. She became the foundation for everything that came after. 6 years have passed since Alex moved away. 6 years of growing up, growing apart, and growing into the person I was always meant to be. I think about him sometimes. Usually when I'm writing poetry. Usually when I see paper airplanes. Usually when I meet someone who makes others feel seen. I wonder if he knows what he gave me. Not just love. Not just heartbreak. But courage. The courage to be visible. The courage to try. The courage to believe that I was worth knowing and worth loving, even when I didn't feel like it. Every relationship I've had since Alex has been built on the foundation he helped me create. Every poem I've written has been possible because he taught me that my voice mattered. Every risk I've taken has been easier because he showed me that some things are worth risking everything for. I work as a librarian now. I help teenagers who remind me of my 17-year-old self. Quiet kids. Scared kids. Kids who think they're not worth noticing. I try to be for them what Alex was for me. Someone who sees their potential before they see it themselves. Sometimes my young visitors ask me about love. About heartbreak. About whether it's worth it to care about someone you might lose. I tell them what I wish someone had told me. That love isn't about the ending. It's about the beginning. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be through the act of loving someone else. I tell them that first love is special not because it lasts, but because it's first. It's the love that teaches you what love is. The love that shows you what your heart can do. The love that proves you're more than you thought you were. I tell them that losing your first love doesn't diminish what it meant. It honors it. It means you loved fully, completely, without holding back. It means you were brave enough to risk everything for something beautiful. Alex will always be part of my story. Not because we ended up together. Because we began together. He was the first person to see me as I really was and love me anyway. He was the first person to believe I was worth believing in. That belief changed everything. It made me a writer, a teacher, a person who isn't afraid to take up space, a person who knows that love, even temporary love, even painful love, is always worth it. If you've ever felt like me, you're not alone. If you've ever loved someone you couldn't keep, you're not alone. If you've ever wondered if the pain was worth it, let me tell you, it was. It always is. Your first love will teach you things you never expected to learn. About yourself, about others, about what it means to be human in a world that often feels too big and too scary and too uncertain. Let it teach you. Let it change you. Let it break your heart if it has to. Because a heart that has loved and lost is stronger than a heart that has never tried. And remember this, the person you become because of your first love is the greatest gift they could ever give you. That person is who you really are. That person is who you were always meant to be. That person is worth every moment of pain it took to find them.